Hello there, and welcome back to another episode here on Crafting on Ilum. Back in September, I attended Legacy Expo, where I had the wonderful opportunity to interview Matthew Stover. We talked about his work on the Revenge of the Sith novelization, as well as his other works within the expanded universe of Star Wars. I hope you guys enjoy, and here's a short quote from him that I love from the novelization. "Love is more than a candle. Love can ignite the stars." Thanks for making time for me today.
That's what I'm here for.
Have you been enjoying the convention?
Oh yeah, this is. I don't go to conventions. Apparently, it's well known among Star Wars fans. That Stover doesn't do cons. The only reason I do this is because when they invited me for the first one, I was so flattered that somebody was willing to fly me to LA to talk to people who love books.
Yeah.
I'm like, because my thing, even when I was going to some cons, it was always pro stuff. I just like talking to people about books, but I don't like any of the rest of it. I don't like the media stuff.
Yeah.
I've done Comic-Con and Celebration and stuff like that. It's not my bag.
Yeah, this is more like an intimate convention.
It's not. We're not competing with movies and video games and all the rest. This is a convention for people who want to talk about the books.
Yes.
That's why I like it.
Yeah, and your panel rooms have been filled with people. It's been great conversations.
They do seem to like me.
Yeah. Well, I do have a couple of questions for you. That's what you're here for. Well, in that time that you've been writing for Lucasfilm, what has been your biggest takeaway from the experience for writing for them and being immersed in the Star Wars universe?
The biggest, the sort of learning experience, it was something that I believed, but now I feel like I have proven it to myself, to my own satisfaction, which is that whether or not a book is good doesn't depend on the tropes, the details, right? You can make a good book out of almost anything, really.
Yeah.
If you know what you're doing, well, when I was a kid, they didn't have like Legos, Lego models and stuff like that. We didn't have models yet. I'm too old for that. They just had boxes of Legos, and you would buy the 1,000-piece box or the 500-piece box, and there'd be just assortments, and you had to just decide what to build. Whatever. Writing in Star Wars is like making a model out of somebody else's Legos.
Sure.
I was using Mr. Lucas's Legos to tell this story, and it's my responsibility to return them to him in the same condition that I received them.
Yeah.
Right? So I got to make the books that I wanted to make, as long as I arranged them so that they didn't upset continuity. That they were extremely tolerant of my eccentricities.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I've watched a couple of your interviews online, and you talk about how they didn't have too much feedback for you on when you went to go talk with him about what you wanted to do with the book.
Yeah.
But then towards the end, what stuck out to me with one of them was about the Sun Dragon, and that was something that you had to.
Yeah. But I tell that story in some detail. It's in the appendix of the annotated editions coming out next month.
Okay, perfect. I know that a couple of my friends have pre-ordered that, so they're very excited about that.
My introduction for that is just a kind of a brief sketch of my meeting with him.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to that. Well, given the 20th anniversary for Revenge of the Sith, did you do a rewatch around May the 4th, or have you done a rewatch of the movie recently?
I did in preparation for doing the annotation.
Okay.
Because one of the things that my editor, Tom, was interested in is my thoughts on the places where my story no longer matches the film, and how that turned out to be that way, and so I rewatched it to kind of refresh my memory on what I left out and what he left out.
How was that experience rewatching it after some time?
It's been a long time since I saw it on TV.
Yeah.
And I now have a very big screen, high def, 4K thing.
Yeah.
Which is really the only way to watch a Star Wars movie.
Yes.
It's absolutely the only way.
Yeah.
And what I was mostly what I was mostly struck by was just how beautiful it is.
Yes.
You know, just it's just, you know, as visual spectacle, it's astonishing.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was super enjoyable watching it on your TV with all the color.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but you know, I was watching TV before there were color TVs, so you know, these flat screens, I just love them.
Yeah. I can imagine as much as I can growing up with color on this screen.
Yeah, and we had phones with rotary dials. You'd never believe them.
No.
Yeah, tried to use one. Takes forever.
Well, this is from my friend Carl from the Wampus Layer, which he actually went on.
I've been on there at least once, maybe twice.
Yeah, with Carl and Jason, and they loved having you on. So this is from him because he couldn't be here today. But he asks, if you've done the rewatch recently, how do you feel about the story 20 years later, and have you felt a change in tune of the profound impact the novelization has had in the fandom?
The main thing of my attitude about that book is that when I published it, it used to bother me, it still does on my bad days, that my best known work, the one that the people who know who I am, 98% of them know who I am because of Revenge of the Sith.
Yes. Yeah.
And it bugged me that my best known work was somebody else's intellectual property.
Right. That makes sense.
But over the years, just seeing the effect that it has had on not just on the franchise itself, but just, you know, talking to people who care about that book, because my original thing about becoming a writer in the first place is I wanted to write the kind of books that people would love as much as I love the books that I read when I was that.
That's fair.
Age, right? That's
Yeah.
I wanted to write books that people really wanted to read.
Yeah.
And the other part of it, the other half of it, which is probably because of where my dark side thing comes in, is I wanted to write fiction that would leave marks.
Yeah.
That somebody who reads it and they're like, I read that book.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't it not the did I read that? I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Right? And Revenge of the Sith gave me all that. And
irony.
Yeah, there you go. Well, there's a lot of irony in that story, and I had a little fun in the annotations pointing them out.
Talking about like the annotations that you have for the book, I don't know if this is in there, but you have a really big focus on the psyche of the character and their internal monologue. How do you get into the mind of a character and provide that aspect of the character? Like, are there any works or other authors that you draw from other than the Star Wars realm?
Well, I talk about this at some length. My actual training was as an actor. That's what I went to college for.
Oh, okay.
I was a stage actor and in classical drama.
Okay.
You know, played Hamlet in college and stuff like that. But the sort of the grand old man of our theater department was an actual authority on Greek drama, and so I got to appear in the Trojan Women under his direction. And my girlfriend, who's here with me, was in Iphigenia at Aulis, and he would do a Greek play almost every year.
Okay.
So I got and I was in Lysistrata, the comedy. So anyway, I love Greek drama, and somebody online had mentioned the prequel trilogy as having the arc of a Greek tragedy, and that's what inspired me to do what ended up being the actual format of the book. That kind of it all comes out of Greek tragedy.
So I know that obviously the work is from George Lucas, but do you put any of like bits and parts of yourself in these characters when you're writing them?
Yeah. My training was as an actor, and my part of my training, part of the way I would solve playing a character in a way that would feel authentic to me, is instead of creating the character, based on from scratch, based on what I see, I look at everything they do everything they want, and everything that I know about them that has happened to them, and I imagine what it would be like to want those things. But for me, I'm not trying to imagine them. I'm trying to imagine what I would be feeling if it were me, if I were that person.
Yeah.
So that's one of the tricks to authenticity on stage, is being the part of yourself that matches the part you're playing.
Right. The story. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. That's amazing.
So that's what I did for these, getting into the psychology and all of the sort of sensation, all that stuff. I was working on what I imagined I would feel if I were that person.
So when we read now the re-release of the novelization, and we will be looking at it through your lens as well.
That's what you were the whole time. The important thing, though, is not my lens. It's your lens. Right? I keep trying to tell people that when they let me put it this way. My philosophy is there are no great books, but there are great readers. Right? There are people who the story they see in their mind is what I was hoping for, and that's awesome. But there are also people who see it completely differently and also love it. They have a completely different idea, but so that's why I never tell people what I meant or what the character meant. I might tell them why I had them say that. But that's different because I don't want to muscle in on the privilege of imagining it for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, one of your quotes that I read online was, if you're reading fantasy to escape reality, then you should focus more on reality. And I love that. I love that so much.
Well, the thing that a lot of fans don't realize, even fairly sophisticated fans in the genres, is that all science fiction, all fantasy, it's not about the future or this other world. It's always about this world, right? It's just it's a different version of it. It's always, the good writers anyway, they're writing about their own time through the lens of science fiction, fantasy, history, whatever, and so that's there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you've watched Andor.
I have not finished it yet.
Okay.
I'm at episode 6 of season 2.
Okay.
Yep.
It's such a great series.
Yeah, I honestly, I had fallen away from Star Wars for a while, consuming the media and stuff, but I heard so much buzz about Andor, about how great it was, and I watched the first couple episodes, and I was like, well, this is extremely well made, but it's still just the thing. And then the third episode where they bring in Stellan Skarsgård, who instantly improves every project, and I was like, oh, he's in this? Okay.
Yeah.
And then that scene in the abandoned factory, the big fight scene in there, the way that is done. I'm a movie geek, not just science fiction, Star Wars stuff, but the that looked to me. I have to go watch it I've seen it twice already, but that reminded me of the stuff that Spielberg would do with like Raiders, just in the editing and the shot composition, the timing of the individual shots, the way they fit together.
I can see that. Yeah,
it was so cool.
Yeah,
I was just like, okay, screw this, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in for the
committed for the show.
Rogue One would be my vote for the best movie among the Star Wars movies.
Okay.
It's not my favorite, but it's as a film, it's a great movie, and Andor, if anything, is probably better.
Well, you're in for a treat.
Yeah, so I know the end. I know, and we have Rogue One queued up. At Rogue One, I've seen 5 or 6 times.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to seeing it again right after the final episode.
It definitely adds
Yeah.
more like emotional
I have
weight
heard
to
that.
it. Yes.
I've heard that.
It's so good.
But I love that movie already, so
Yeah, you're like,
I'm
I'm
looking
ready.
forward to it.
Yeah. Well, Star Wars has released a lot of live action shows in the past few years. Other than Andor, have you had a chance to view any of them? And if you have, what is your favorite so far and why?
I like The Mandalorian.
The Mandalorian?
Yeah, I like Westerns.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really impactful when it was first released because it was the first live action
And it was
TV show.
and it was quality action.
Yeah.
You know, that it was the lone drifter setting things right kind of thing. And I'm like, I'm in.
Yes.
I enjoyed it a lot.
Yes, I did. I loved that it was around like Christmas time because I got to watch it with my family, and it was
Oh,
just
nice.
a nice time to come together. If you could bring one of your works to the big screen, which would it be, and what would be essential to preserve in a film or adaptation?
One of my Star Wars books.
Yes, yes.
It would be Shatterpoint,
Okay.
because I don't think Shadows of Mindor would work as a movie because it's metafiction. I mean, you could do it if you had like a really top shelf like creative team on the film, but they'd have to do all kinds of weird things to emphasize that this something you're watching is created in universe to entertain you, not the actual story. It's very difficult to do in a movie. But Shatterpoint, well, first of all, because, well, in my mind, you get Samuel L. Jackson,
Yes, and he's so ready to return to the big screen.
and he is, I think, I mean, I know he was in the early years of the century. His films have grossed more than any other actor in history. His films have made more money than any other single actor. Yeah. So yeah, that would be Shatterpoint.
That would be that'd be super fun.
Because that was written. The whole book was written with Sam Jackson in mind in the movie. I had the movie in my head, and that's what I was writing.
That's amazing. Yeah, that would be so fun if it came to like reality.
It would be awesome.
Yeah.
But Sam Jackson's a little old to be playing Mace right now.
They have de-aging for a reason.
Oh yeah, that's true.
My last question for you is more of a fun question. Who is your favorite dark side user and why?
Well, other than the Emperor, of course. No, it's one of my guys. It's Carvastor.
Okay, solid.
I like him because he's not Sith, but he is definitely a Darksider.
Yeah.
But he is a Darksider that people could kind of understand where he was coming from.
That's so true for Count Dooku. He's one of my favorite characters.
Well,
you can kind of understand.
Well, my characterization of Dooku was sensitively based. It was literally inspired by Sean Stewart's Clone Wars Dark Rendezvous.
Okay.
Yeah, Yoda Dark Rendezvous, which is a terrific novel, and his evocation of this 12-year-old budding sociopath at the Jedi Academy, I found incredibly persuasive.
Yes.
I was like, that's Dooku
Yeah.
right there, and I basically just took that, grew him up, and gave him Christopher Lee's voice.
I don't know if you've read Dooku Jedi Lost, but if you like the intrigue of Dooku's character,
I am not sure that I've read that.
it's such a good book.
Okay.
It goes more into like his childhood, like
Yeah.
beforehand. He
Yeah,
actually
well,
goes back.
he's a supporting character in Dark Rendezvous, but
Yeah, he's the main character in it, so we got a lot of backstory
Yeah.
on him. So it's a good book.
No, I don't think I've read that.
Yeah. Well, those are all the questions that I have for you.
Well, awesome, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for your time. Do you mind if we get a quick photo?
No, not at all.